Well, we are finally back doing another cozy episode with Jill and Lisa. Thanks for joining us. We are in Riverside Park in Watertown. It's beautiful today.
It is. It's not too hot yet. We're here in the morning, so it's lovely. Not a lot of noise.
This is a great little gazebo, so we have a beautiful background. So let's hope not a goose doesn't come in, or a duck. There's ducks over there, so we'll see if they come and visit. So anyway, let's get our journal entry. What do you got, Lisa?
Yeah, so the end of May, Jim and I took a trip out to Charleston, South Carolina, to meet up with his family. And we had a nice beach house. In spite of all the rain that we had out there, we did have one good day that we could actually enjoy the beach on a sunny day. And it was beautiful. There were so many shells. We went out there early in the morning. In fact, I brought one of my shells along.
Oh, I can hear
Jim
the ocean.
found this one from the trip. No, not so much.
Bummer.
But it's a nice little memory, and it was a beautiful time to explore a place that we'd never been before.
Yeah.
So we enjoyed that.
Very cool. Very cool.
How about you?
Well, mine wasn't that long ago either. For my sister's birthday, I found out like 2 years ago she loves Van Gogh.
Oh.
I never knew it. We've been, I've known her all her life, obviously. And yeah, I didn't know. So anyway, for her birthday, I thought, I'm going to take her to Beyond Van Gogh because she'll just freak at that whole thing. And so because she lives in the UP, we decided to meet in Green Bay and wait for it to go to Green Bay. So it just opened there. So we were up there just like last weekend or the weekend before, and it was so amazing. You stand in, there's a lot of different stuff, but the main room, it's just bunches of his pictures just projected everywhere. It's on the ceiling, it's around the walls. A friend of mine went to it down in Milwaukee. They said it was even on the ceiling. So unfortunately, it wasn't on the ceiling in this particular venue, but oh my gosh, you just felt, especially the ones that were your favorite, like the irises and the Starry Starry Night and all. It just, we're so immersed in that whole thing, and it was a great way to be present. It was so nice. So if you get a chance, go see it. Highly
Jim and I
recommend
went to it when it was in
Did
Milwaukee.
you?
Yes,
Okay.
it was just amazing.
Yeah, it really, really was. And then we got the VIP pack. We were cool. We had a lanyard. But anyway, what that kind of included was a bunch of stuff, but we got to do VR, virtual reality.
Oh, cool.
It was a pretty neat thing. You're sitting in a chair with the goggles and you can move around, and all the way around you is like you're in one of his paintings.
That's very nice.
Very cool.
Oh.
So anyway, that was mine. So next up, we are going to be talking about the summer aesthetic.
Yes.
Sounds kind of posh.
Are. So our inspiration for this episode today was a post that I came across on the Montana Happy website, her talking about the summer aesthetic. And the word aesthetic has sort of an artistic reference, and it means the visual and sensory component that you build around a particular theme. So today we are going to be talking about the summer aesthetic and what that means for us and what it might mean for you.
That's right.
So the first thing that she talks about are the gifts of the season. And I really like the way that she sort of frames it, an aesthetic being the gifts of the season, because you've got your summer season. What are the gifts of summer? There's all the produce, the fresh produce at the farmers markets is the taste and the smell. There's, if you're going to the beach, you've got the beach aesthetic there. That's one of the gifts. There are like wardrobe. What are we talking about? Like the lightweight fabrics, things like that. So all the gifts or characteristics that are specific to a season.
And appreciating those in the season, because sometimes we're like really hot and whatever, like, I wish it was winter. It's like, no. Just appreciate this where you are right now, because that's the important part. Why think about what was last year or what's coming up? Sometimes you just have to be right in the moment.
Yes, like the sound of the motorcycle
That's
is
right.
a gift of the summer season.
For some people. I want to return that gift. But no, truthfully though, really you just have to accept it what it is. I mean, you get to go motorcycle riding. So, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so let's start with summer food aesthetics. So the first thing that brings to mind for me is grilling out. right? Like, I know you're not a person who likes to eat meat, but for a lot of people it's burgers and brats and kebabs, veggie kebabs, which we actually just had last night.
Excellent.
What for you is the summer food
I
aesthetic?
actually like to, well, as for grills, I like to do a portobello mushroom. Yeah, that's really, really good. I don't, summer for me, I guess, would be fresh corn on the cob. I love corn on the cob.
That's a good one.
And I've kind of discovered this whole Mexican corn vibe, which of course puts on thousands of calories, but oh my gosh, it tastes so good.
The seasonings.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
butter,
that's that to me is definitely summer.
Yeah, watermelon.
Oh
is
yeah, I
another
had one
Ice
last night.
cream,
Yep.
all that good stuff.
Yep, that's always good. And of course, fair food, which I don't really like anymore,
Yeah.
but some people it's just like, oh my God, I'm gonna, do fair food. But
And if I remember correctly, you found something on Pinterest about a burger bar, right?
Yeah.
Like the different types of foods.
yeah, that's right. Thanks for reminding
Yeah.
me. So, when you do what you want on your burger, okay, so it's kind of like a, it's like a Sunday bar, but you do it with burgers so that you have your burgers, you have got your different buns, you've got your different toppings, you've got different cheeses, that type of thing. And that's really easy because then you don't have to do anything really, which I kind of like.
People can just customize it
Yeah.
for themselves.
And if it's a potluck, they can bring different things to add
Oh, I
on
like
to
that.
it. Yeah, so then it's not really cumbersome for everybody because, sometimes we get so wrapped up in having people over.
Having to entertain.
Exactly, and it's just so hard, especially in the summertime, So, ask them to bring something.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I like that. All right, so some more summer food aesthetics. Now, you know that I love to pickle. I love
Yes.
to make pickles. It's one of my favorite things to do with homemade food. So that for me is also very much a summer aesthetic.
Sure.
And Jim appreciates that very much because he then uses my homemade garlic dill pickles in his Bloody Marys. He fancies himself a bit of a Bloody Mary connoisseur.
Oh, we'll have to talk to him about that one of these days.
Yeah, he would enjoy that, I'm sure.
Maybe we'll do a supper club themed cozy.
Love that.
That'd be fun.
Do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fun. So.
For others, it's doing jams and jellies. We did that once on Aunt Anne. We did a
think we
couple
did,
different types
yeah.
of jams and jellies
Yep.
that were real simple.
Yep,
not
and
very
it's not that
complicated.
hard, really isn't. If you get the right ingredients and just follow the directions, that's what they're there for.
Yeah.
I think most of the time when people have a disaster in the kitchen, it's because they didn't follow the recipe.
Yes.
You didn't read it first or didn't understand it and didn't ask questions. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's really good. And rhubarb's out like right now.
Yes. Yep. We need to harvest ours. It's getting a little bit overabundant.
Yes,
But-
yes.
Yeah.
So rhubarb's good. Let's see what else we have. We talked about the farmers market, of course, and we're lucky here in Watertown because we have one that's been around. I think it might be the longest continuously running farmers market in the state.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it used to be down on the river by First Street, I believe it is, and then they moved it over here to Riverside Park, so it's every Tuesday, really early, unfortunately, but the farmers like that, I'm sure. And then there's going to be another one over at the new town square by the library. I think they usually do that, July through October
I
or
think
something
so.
like
Yeah,
that.
later in the summer.
Yeah, they're all over the place. And, even if you don't buy anything, which you should, it's just a fun place to go. People have a good time. So that's
Browse,
something to
yeah.
think about. Yeah. I like you put up here tomato pie.
I have never had tomato pie.
I should have
so
made
talk to
some.
us about tomato pie.
Well, I tried it because I thought, well, I've got all these tomatoes. What am I going to do with them, right? And I'm not a big tomato person when they're raw, but I love them cooked,
Okay.
I think it's a texture thing. But anyway, so I decided to make this potato or tomato pie, and it's green tomatoes, and there's some seasoning, and I can't remember, but I think it's an actual pie crust dough, but then there's cheddar cheese in it, and that was the thing. People are like, really, cheddar cheese on tomatoes? But oh my gosh, it's
everything is better with cheese.
yes, Yes, exactly. But it was really good, but it's kind of rich because of the cheese. And so I've made it a couple of times, and I've had different reactions from people. Some people love it, other people are like, "Meh," and then some people are like, no.
I think I would like it.
I think you would too.
I think I would like it.
You
I
should
like
try
tomatoes.
it.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can dig out my recipe because it was good.
Yeah. We like a BLT. That's another summer
sure.
food
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you can get tomatoes, they're actually red. So.
Yes. A seafood boil.
Oh.
I have never been to a seafood boil.
No.
I enjoy seafood, like when we go out to the East Coast, that's
Yeah.
my favorite thing to eat.
Yeah.
But
Well, we've got a fish boil here in Wisconsin, which is kind of our traditional thing. I haven't been to those either, but my dad used to kind of make one, and it wasn't my thing. But, you know, that probably is part of your tradition, especially if you're up near Door County. You know, that's fish boil's a big
Yeah.
deal. So, but yeah, seafood is wonderful.
Yeah.
So that would be cool too. Oh, look what we got coming up next.
yes.
We want to talk about with something else, with some more stuff. Yes, some mores, like the graham cracker marshmallow thing.
And chocolate.
And chocolate.
Chocolate.
That's the best part.
That is the
I personally eat the chocolate. Forget about the rest of it, as long as it's good chocolate. But you like s'mores.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not a real big fan of marshmallows,
Mm-hmm.
but I do enjoy the chocolate and the graham crackers. So I will tolerate the marshmallows if we are, at somebody's bonfire or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's fun to make them with my nieces
Oh,
too.
yeah, kids love them. It's kind of magical, But there's a lot of different ways you can do it. So change it up. It doesn't have to be graham crackers. It can become kind of a cookie. I saw a few of those like chocolate stripe ones that you can use. What else
But
did
then
I see?
wouldn't the chocolate like
Of
melt
course,
on you?
that's the whole point. Lisa. We need to be dirty
Just
when we
have
go
the wet
outside.
wipes at the ready.
Yes, have the wet wipes at the ready.
And didn't we come across one that was like a lemon curd and white
Yeah.
vanilla? That looked really good. So we will put these on our Pinterest board so that you can check out all the wonderful alternatives to the
Yeah.
traditional s'mores.
And one of the ones that I thought was really cool and accessible are those little Ghirardelli chocolates with like the mint inside or the caramel. Use those. And to me, I think I would just maybe do half a marshmallow so it's not quite overwhelming. I don't know. That's probably no fun to anybody, but that's me. I like vanilla ice cream. I'm sorry. Okay, what else do we have?
And
speaking of ice cream.
Speaking of ice cream, yeah, that's definitely one of a summer food aesthetic,
sure
definitely.
is.
And we were talking about the burger bar, but you can do like a real simple get together is to do like an ice cream social. Just have everything you need, the little candy pieces, the toppings, the ready whip, the syrup, all that kind of stuff. Or I'm gonna get chocolate and I'm gonna get vanilla, and they can just knock themselves out customizing their ice cream sundae.
Yeah, it's nice to give people choice.
Yeah.
Everybody likes something a little different, so that's cool. That ought
Yeah.
to be fun. We were talking about watermelon earlier. I got one that was okay. I know there's some tricks to picking out the right one, but every time I read about them, then the next day I read something else that was completely different. I personally think it's just luck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once in a while you get that perfect watermelon, but
I don't know. I'll eat watermelon if it's there.
Yeah.
It's just never been my favorite.
I love
don't
watermelon.
like the seeds. I don't like having like juice dripping down my face
Okay.
and down my arms. I am a sloppy eater.
this
Jim
is what
will
you
tell
need to
that.
do. Okay.
Wear
So-
a bib. I need
yeah,
to wear
you
a
wear
bib.
But you cut a slice, right? Like a big round slice, and then you salt it. Salt your watermelon. It makes it sweeter. Trust me. And then you just take a spoon and you eat it like that.
See, that's what I should do.
Yeah. I know someone who cuts it up into little squares and eats it with a fork.
Oh, see, I would do that. I would.
So find your own way. If you don't want to get messy, do it the other way. But yeah, watermelons are definitely summer. And like you said, funnel cakes. They're actually kind of good. I bet you wish they made them smaller.
Yeah.
Everything is so
yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Just like I want something
Too
smaller.
much.
So that's
So
good.
tell us on our Facebook page, what is your favorite summer food?
Yeah,
I'd
that would be
like to
great.
know
I'd love to hear.
if we haven't covered it here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or even if it is, give us a thumbs up.
Yes.
outfits.
Yes, so let's switch over to a different summer aesthetic, which is your summer outfits. Definitely your summer wardrobe is different than your winter, especially when you're in the Midwest.
Yes.
I forgot, I had on my list of things to bring this morning a sun hat because I love a sun hat. I just forgot to grab one.
Well, I was gonna too, but it's pretty cloudy
Yeah.
today, so you don't really need it. But yeah, I've got way too many hats because they're cool.
They look darling, but
They
then
do.
they also protect you from the sun and
Big
you know,
time.
give you shade.
Yeah,
So
big
they're
time.
beneficial that way too.
Yeah, I've been wearing hats for like my entire life just because I'm that kind of person. But I think it's really helped
Yeah.
because you know I don't have the age thing that you get
Spots and-
sometimes, you know, so that's been very helpful. And of course, sandals. Oh, you took yours off.
I took mine
but-
off, but
Oh my gosh, I love wearing sandals. Yeah. And you can just get your toes out. There's so many different kinds now. So do you like the ones with the thongs with them in between your toes?
I hate a flip-flop
I knew
thong.
you were
No,
gonna say
I hate
that.
those. So yeah, like what you have on, like a
Yeah.
cute little wedge, or you know, like a nice little supportive sandal. Because I'm getting old and I need arch support now, which is sad. But that's another episode.
That's
in
another
and of
episode.
itself.
Yeah. Well, I was born with high arches, so that's fine.
I cannot stand a flip-flop. I have never liked a flip-flop.
I've never had a problem with it, but I know some people just creep out. So wear what's good for you.
Yes,
That's
whatever
the whole
you like,
thing.
that's
you know.
the whole point.
Yes, and if you don't like to wear sandals, some people don't. Just don't wear sandals with socks, please.
Oh,
because
please.
you're just, you know, harshing my Huga.
Yeah,
So.
that's not.
We're being
not
judgmental. I'm
yeah,
sorry, but that's just the way it is. What else do we have here? Oh,
Sundresses.
Yeah.
I love a sundress in summertime. I actually had one on this morning, but when I found out what Jill was wearing, I decided I was going to be overdressed for sitting on the ground, so I changed. But I love a dress. I will wear a dress all summer long. And you've got to have the right fabric though. So
Yes, that's huge.
cottons, linens, silks are all wonderful summer fabrics. Some people tend to shy away from the nice, you know, like you've got, this looks like a linen cotton
Yeah,
blend
it's a-
maybe, and I've got my cotton on. Some people shy away from things like linen and cotton, or silk rather, because they're not quite sure how to take care of them.
Yeah, it gets a little
So
tricky.
I pulled up some information, and we'll put this on our Pinterest board too, about properly caring for your summer fabrics. So in the summertime, you want fabrics that are natural and breathable and lightweight. Cotton is ideal because it's also very durable and it washes really well. It's best to wash it in warm or cool water. I always wash mine on a gentle cycle. And then I like to, you can certainly put it in the dryer.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
can.
it gets wrinkled though if you do that. So I prefer to hang mine
And
up
it doesn't,
to
then you
dry.
don't have to worry about it shrinking, you know, which is not
Yeah.
fun. So.
And the same with linen. Linen will
yeah.
often shrink if you put it in the dryer. But linen is great too. Yes, it's going to wrinkle. That's just the nature
That's
of
right.
linen.
It's
You have to
part of
get
its
over it.
appeal.
Yes, exactly.
When you get stuff like this where it's actually kind of wrinkly to begin with, it doesn't matter.
It's got like that texture already.
it's already
So
got
who's
that
going to know if
texture.
it's wrinkled or if that's just the texture? But that too, that is best washed in cold on gentle and then hang it up because you don't want that to shrink either.
And if it gets wrinkly, I mean, you can always use a fairly warm iron, but just be careful not to scorch
Or,
it.
yeah, you can iron it if it's damp too.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Another real popular summer fabric is viscose or rayon. They say it's a semi-synthetic fabric. It's not completely natural. But that helps to make it not wrinkle. And it breathes like cotton, it drapes really well. And that too, there's no special washing, just throw it in the washer on cool and gentle and then hang it up.
I've got my Airbnb, my sheets are bamboo, but they're like rayon, but made out of bamboo. And they
Perfect for
they're
summer.
they breathe and they wash really well. I mean, they wrinkle, but when you put them on the beds, the wrinkles go away. And so my guests have really, really liked that. In fact, I started using them myself because I liked them so much. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Very great for summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one that I love is silk. And I know a lot of people get spooked by silk just because they think of it as like a fancy fabric. It's really not. Silks are so lightweight and drapey for summer. They will keep you cool. Just, you know, look at the label. Some of them can actually be washed in the machine or hand washed, and then just hang them up to dry.
And I think maybe a lot of people got kind of a bad impression with silk, because if it's not silk, it's not real silk, it's some kind of a, you know, polyester or
Oh,
whatever.
sure.
That doesn't breathe
Right.
at all. But real silk,
Yes.
yeah.
Or like a silk cotton blend
Oh,
in a top or
very
a
nice.
dress. I love that.
Yeah, that's always good. Okay, well, cool. Now we're going to talk about the outdoor aesthetic.
Not my favorite part of the summer aesthetic.
She's got allergies.
I do.
You know, so you know, you do what you can, right? But you enjoy stuff.
I do.
So-
Like this is lovely
Yes,
this morning.
yes.
This is lovely.
But you know what? People like to go camping. I grew up in basically the forest, so I didn't go camping as a kid, so it's not in my wheelhouse. I have gone camping, but it sounded weird to me that you go camping to a campsite and there's more people at the campsite than there are on your block or where you live. So I don't quite understand it, but if you love it, excellent. If that's your place in the summer, wonderful, wonderful.
I have been camping one time in all of my 40 plus years. Once was enough. I can say I've been camping, and yes, it was actually tent camping. It was
4
not
times.
glamping, but once was enough.
Glamping's cheating, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, anyway, if anybody they get an RV, that's cheating too. If you're gonna camp, darn it. But anyway, one of the things about camping that I think people love the most is a campfire. Whether it's in your backyard, in a fire pit, or what have you, that is really, I mean, think about it. Sitting in a camp chair, watching a fire, hearing it crackle, maybe making s'mores, or just being there quiet, or singing campfire songs, which a lot of people like to do. But the fire is the main thing. I think human beings have been looking at fire since they invented it. They just love it. So, but how do you start a good campfire?
Oh.
That is always a discussion, especially when there's people in your party that think they know the answer. Most of these are guys. I hate to, stereotype, but most of these guys. Or you could be like Jourdan, who just throws, fire starter on it and lights it and goes. But so we asked some of the people in our lives that we know, ask them to tell us how the best way to start a fire is. So here's a little montage of that.
If you're using either flint and steel, or if you're using a bow, you have to have a space ready to receive your ember real quick. You can't really do like a bow or flint and steel directly into your base fire. What you have to do is you have to start a little starter space here and then shift that into the space to light the regular fire. Now this one right here, this setup that we have here, this is a sort of a log cabin style. It's got very dry kindling with some rough exposed edges. You don't want to try and start wet wood because it's hard. You can add wet wood or green wood to a fire after it's going if you, for some reason, want a lot of smoke. But you don't want to try and start a fire with green wood or wet wood because it just doesn't burn nearly as well. But this wood is nice and dry and exposed. That actually should go up really nicely. You always start out with a base layer of something that's extremely flammable, like paper or dry leaves, or in this case there's some birch bark, there's some dryer lint in there, so there's a lot of flammable stuff right here that should go up pretty good. With this fire right here, if we had one match, we could get that one lit pretty easy because we've got the inside filled with shredded paper towels, and then the loose ones, or the kindling stacked around it. I'll try starting this one with the flint and see if we get any kind of effect there. So we got some flame on that. I can transfer that without it going out into our base here. Then, and I think we're going to be okay. All right, so I think we're good. To this, you would add like your medium-sized sticks, something else that's going to catch, and then once you've got a couple of medium-sized sticks on there, you add the big ones, and you're good to go.
The Native American style would be a teepee fire. And what I've done is I've set some very small twigs over a nest. The nest is made up of dryer lint. That could be made from pine needles or the inside of the bark of a cedar tree. These are birch shavings. I peeled and broke up the birch bark. Rather than put a big slab of birch bark, just break it up so that the air can flow through. It's very flammable because it has resins in it, and so it's going to burn really hot. And then what I like about a teepee fire is the twigs come to a point where it brings the fuel together, where it's close together, but it has airflow that is drawing in from the sides and flowing up through the fire. And since the fuel is concentrated, it creates a lot of surfaces close together where one can help heat up the next, because they're both burning. The heat is contained and concentrated in the center, and so the embers tend to drop down from these small twigs towards this nest and help maintain the fire while we add to it. To light this, I'm going to start at the bottom. I have a little bit of a door on my side, so I can just slide the match underneath the nest. And then we can just start adding to the teepee with the slightly larger sticks.
Hello, I'm Jim Ortega. I'm a friend of Lisa Steffels, and I'm here to show you how I prepare a campfire the proper way. I like to get as much kindling and just dry sticks and whatever I can get into the fire pit, and then take some newspaper, get that wedged under there. I don't rub two sticks together, but you get that paper lit. Once I know that that's really fully in full blaze, then we'll add some larger pieces. I'm going to go ahead and add some more larger pieces. That's probably enough for now. It's going to really start blazing once those smaller kindling sticks get going. And that's how you prepare a fantastic campfire, and you can get some mystical fire chemicals, and it'll make some beautiful coloring for you too.
Okay, so last time we were with you, where it was way months ago.
February,
We've
I
been
think.
so busy. Yeah, I was in her place, she did another place. So anyway, it's been busy. So Lisa actually made the recipe. I didn't, but it was so long ago. So we're not going to do that, and she didn't really like it. So anyway, I've got that that bowl of recipes. Well, I put it on my picnic hamper. So we need to choose one now. $14.99, by the way, at an estate sale. Okay, so Lisa's going first.
All right. I don't know. The last one I pulled that I did in February was so putsy. I hate putsy recipes. Oh, spicy cheese bread.
That's going to be putsy.
Yeah, look at that. The whole bottom half of one page is all ingredients.
I like recipes that are a challenge myself.
And a bread recipe is not great for a low-carb household. But
No,
that's
it's
okay.
not.
That's okay.
But you can pick another one
Oh,
if you
okay.
want.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll set this
It's
one
just
aside.
us. We're just making our own rules.
We get
so.
to make up our rules.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got
Oh,
here.
that might be easy.
Tofu. Tofu. Yeah, I'm going to give this to you because I'm not. Let's have you pick one, Jill.
Oh.
Do you want to do the tofu?
Yeah, I can do this one. Okay, so this is sheet pan tofu with broccolini, mushrooms, and sweet potatoes. Oh, this sounds really, really good. Okay, I will make this one.
Okay, so you get to do this one. I will tell you a little bit about the one that I did last time.
Yeah.
So I pulled in February the roasted vegetable chili with cornbread biscuits. It was a recipe that I'm fine with trying once, but it's
Yeah.
not something that we'll do again. However, the good thing about it is that for the first time since we have had our oven, it was the first time I have ever actually used it to broil anything.
You've had that oven for a while.
we've been in that house for like 10 years now. But I realized that when you open the oven door, there's that first little notch when you pull it out a little bit. That's for broiling. You have to leave it open when you're broiling. So I
believe you
did
didn't know
learn
that. That's
something
funny.
from this recipe.
That's good. Glad I helped you. I'm going to pick one for you now since you picked mine.
It better not be putsy.
What did I put? Spinach artichoke quinoa casserole.
Oh, I would do that.
Ah,
I
yay,
would
we
do
got a
that,
winner.
Yes, we've got a winner.
Okay. Excellent. So next time we're with you, we are going to talk about those recipes and let you know, and we can share that with you. So
Be sure to hop on our Pinterest board.
Yes.
We'll post the things that we talked about today. Give us comments on Facebook. Let us know what your summer aesthetic is.
Yeah, so we'll probably, next time we'll probably be in like August going into fall, which is my favorite time of year, so that'll be fun. So we just want to do this right at the end here is that Jourdan, who has been our editor and our camera person since we started, and in Ask Aunt Ann and all that, he's moving away. And so we want to wish him the best of luck because he's awesome, and we're going to miss him.
Yes. Take care, Jourdan. We wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, we might come down and visit you. Should we go visit him?
Ooh, we can
We'll
do
go
that.
visit him. Yeah, all right. All right, thanks for being with us. Enjoy your
Have
summer.
a good summer.